The Chicago Bears just made a sneaky great addition. We've got the first pickup of the offseason here, and it might be a sneaky good one. The Bears traded a fifth-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft to the Buffalo Bills in exchange for offensive lineman Ryan Bates. And I'm going to go to the story on The Athletic. As you guys know, they do fantastic work, so let's get to it. About the trade, it won't become official until March 13th. That's the beginning of the league year, marking the start of the new league year, of course. Bates must also pass a physical, and this might seem early in the process, but GM Ryan Poles, he's wanted this guy for quite some time. Poles attempted to acquire Bates in free agency in 2022 as a restricted free agent. He thought he had him, but the Bills, they matched our offer sheet for Bates, so no dice. Question: is the fifth rounder worth it? I mean, now the Bears no longer have any day 3 picks, none in the 5th, 6th, or 7th rounds. And as a player, I think he's going to fit in just great. He can play all 5 offensive line spots. And don't get me wrong, he's not a Pro Bowler, but with depth and incredible concern on our team, it's money well spent. He's an above average guard. He has great movement and definitely has the skills to play center, a big need for us, or guard. And he also has great length. In a pinch, this guy can even play offensive tackle. So this rotational piece at minimum, it is huge. We need to enter the season with at least 3 guards deep, with Jenkins and Davis missing a combined 11 games last year and 9 the year previous. He isn't really a backup. This guy is going to start some games, and I think he's just a quality ad. Poles, he knows his offensive lineman, right? He was one at the highest level himself, so I trust his judgment in this area. And also, he's been after him since 2022. He's only 27, and the cap hit is beautiful. It'll be about $4 million, so that's an amazing price. Now, for Buffalo, he only played 35 snaps last year, but with those snaps in 2023, he had a PFF grade of 78.7. Pretty nice, right? A 78.7 grade. And I'm going to drop this story down. The thing that I like the best, and I saw this on Twitter from Jacob Infante, this is huge. In 1,434 career snaps, he has only 6 penalties and only 1 sack allowed. Okay, now you have my attention. Just a great pull from Infante. You have my attention. He can be a huge help on the interior of the line, of course, but here's something. The Bears might believe he can be the solution at center, and he's experienced there. Once again, he played 135 snaps at that spot for Buffalo last year. The high PFF grade is from him allowing only 5 pressures to in 87 pass blocks. He's just crazy affordable. Like I said, he has 2 years left on a contract at $8 million. And I think at best, he's a super valuable rotational piece, right? With a huge possibility, this is who Poles wants to be our temporary solution at center. We have tons of cap room, but Poles, he wants to be responsible. He likely doesn't want to spend huge here. We don't have a second rounder presently. If you don't want to spend and you have limited draft capital to get a good one, finding one is tough, right? We have the money, but he might be planning to spend it elsewhere. And one thing I like about Poles, he constantly has his eyes on the now, but he isn't willing to overextend on deals and kick a cap mess down the road. It's got to be a superstar to get paid on this team. And the trade for Bates, that gives the Bears a starting option at center, but it doesn't take us out of the market for a veteran like Cushenberry or Williams. The trade for Bates, that gives the Bears flexibility in free agency and the draft not to chase a center. We never want to be forced into a spot like that we're chasing a specific position. We just draft somebody just because we need it. And with the salary cap rising, Cushenberry and Williams, they should command deals in like the 9 to 11 to 12 million per year range. We can handle that. We have the salary cap flexibility to dole out a top level contract for a center. But Bates, they give us the security to avoid a bidding war. It gives us the security to choose to allocate our funds elsewhere if we want to, if the price is outside of the Bears' value zone. The Bears also don't currently have a draft pick between number 9 and number 75. That's terrible. That makes it hard to find a starting caliber center in the draft because Oregon's Jackson Powers Johnson, West Virginia's Zach Frazier, both really good choices, but they're projected to be selected between like number 20 number 50. So we got to be able to pivot if we have to. And while plan A is for Bates to be swing depth, the Bears at least now have a reliable veteran who can start at center if needed. And I really love this move. Bates is someone who plays tough too. He's a dependable blocker, and the center spot can be held down for cheap. And if we pivot and spend or trade around trade around draft picks and draft one, he can play everywhere on the line. That's a huge win no matter how you cut it. And there's a little connection here as well, and that's with assistant GM Ian Cunningham. Sportsmockery.com pointed this out, so like credit to those guys. When Philly signed Bates in 2019, he was an undrafted free agent. But Cunningham, he was on the staff then. Philly was just so good that he couldn't stick, but they must have liked something about him. And his success in Buffalo, that likely proved that they were right. So Cunningham goes on staff. He tips Poles on a sneaky fit. He unsuccessfully tries to grab him on the down low in 2022. Once again, they matched our offer sheet, unfortunately. But he may have continued as a starter last year with Buffalo, but he got replaced by rookie second-round pick Osiris Torrance. Rookies take a bit to develop, and I can't say he was better. I mean, he allowed 46 pressures and 3 sacks. But after playing well, after getting your shot, getting demoted, it's not fun, but it's the game. Show your worth, ball out, another opportunity will come, and this is here for Bates. So what I'm saying is that, friends, this is a win. We just got something we desperately need. Depth on the offensive line, a little glimpse of what Cody Whitehair was for so long back in the day on the team. I mean, Cody Whitehair, he filled a similar position, and now we get to replenish that. And at best, we have a brand new starting center who can slide over to guard if needed. And if we trade around once again, if we get the draft capital to get Powers Johnson or Frazier in April, Bates is the perfect guy to man the helm, rotate in and out, slip over to guard, go back and forth, and welcome and develop the long-term solution with a rookie. For Powers Johnson specifically, as you know, he has tons of versatility too. He is fantastic, and he'd likely ideally start his career at guard to begin the year, and then he can be ready to slide over to center as the year goes on. Just a really nice puzzle piece, and having Bates here, it fully facilitates that as a possibility. Now it stinks. Now we're down to only 5 picks. But Poles, I really believe that he's going to change that. Expect some moves here to improve that. Stay tuned. And once again, on Bates, he was fully a backup last year. He was limited to 35 snaps, but it's because Buffalo just stayed healthy. And that was a huge difference from 2022. He made 15 starts. And that was 13 starts at right guard and 2 at center. So, man, we are really getting a value here. We have a possible starter. Buffalo is not an easy team to start on. They're a really good team. I doubt the Bills wanted to lose him too, but they're up against the cap, man. They began the offseason 44 mil over the cap. That's an NFL high. And 1.4 million in relief. That's not chump change. Every little bit is a help. And I think this is why he didn't stick. So how did he get into the league? And then we'll finish up. Undrafted out of Penn State in 2019. Buffalo got him in a trade from Philly, and career starts are 19 total in 73 career games. Let's do a final on him as far as snaps from that perspective. And PFF lets us know as well, Bates gave up 28 pressures and 1 sack in 615 pass blocking snaps in 2022. So he played really well. He played primarily right guard, though, in 2022. That's 810 of those snaps, but he also played 135 snaps at center. He played just 35 snaps in 2023 entirely at center, but we already covered that. It was because he got supplanted by a rookie, and hey, Buffalo just stayed healthy. That's something with Jenkins that we haven't been able to do. So this depth at the guard position as well as center, it's something that we really need, and I absolutely love the pickup. Hey, you guys, let me know what you think. Really appreciate you guys helping me get closer and closer to 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers. We are moving quickly, and appreciate each one of you. Bear down, and we'll talk soon. See ya.